Sydney, if you're listening to this, I still have a grudge for you. Should not be paying for this.
That is what you say if your client tells you they're having an affair on their husband.
Right. We're going to have to order some new extensions.
Exactly.
And give me his credit card.
Oh, okay. So it didn't happen to me, but it happened to somebody working next to me. And
Talk shit. I'm going to meet you with that same energy.
I'm not here for that business. No.
And I guess I just suck.
Yeah, so that's my week. 3, 2.
Hello.
Hi.
And welcome back to another episode of Break Room Banter.
It is a hairstylist adjacent podcast where each week
two friends
who also happen to be hairstylists
break down our weeks in the break room. I'm your host, Hunter Walden.
And I am your hostess, Ericka the Red.
And this week we have an episode packed full
Yes,
of
ma'am.
advice that you maybe shouldn't take.
It's advice.
Who's to say?
It's advice. No one said it was good.
And no one asked for it. But you know what? If I'm not good at anything, I'm good at giving advice I wasn't asked for.
You are good at that.
I really am.
But first, how was your week?
I had an excellent week. An excellent week that ended kind of cruddy.
Yeah.
With the actual crud. I am a little sick, but it's not the C word. Thank God.
Yeah.
I think it's just allergies. So I went on a trip this week.
Yeah.
Week. I don't know. Everything has ran together. So yeah, I went on a trip. I went to Atlanta and I got to be a part of the Fast Foils team's editorial collection.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
So it was 3 photo shoots in one.
Yeah.
Which I think I found that out Monday and I left on Tuesday. No, I left on Monday. I think I found out at the meeting on Monday or Sunday and I left on Monday. One of the two.
Yeah.
It's 3 photo shoots, 2 days. So we had a prep day and then the actual shoot day. Prep day went super smooth, so that means that shoot day was super smooth.
Nice.
But we did 15 looks. We did, Ben, the owner of Fast Foils, Ben Barkworth, did a men's editorial collection.
Ooh.
It was sick.
Oh, I'm sure.
It was so sick. And then the Fast Foils team, so Jay Ladner, Ben, Travis, Scott, and Amber Maynard Bolt, and myself, we did an editorial collection to enter for a competition. And then we did a product launch shoot for Fast Foils of a super secret product. I mean, you've seen it because I have it in the salon, but no one else knows what it is.
I know what it is.
No one else does. And I mean, I think it's really cool. It's super innovative.
Yeah.
And it was exciting to get to use something before it came out.
Did you give our feedback?
I have not yet.
Okay.
I have a meeting with Ben this week.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
We're brilliant. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. But yeah, and then I got right back into work.
Yes.
Which is not abnormal for me. And then I think on Friday I started not feeling great. Saturday I was like, oh, I don't feel good at all. And then I was supposed to go to the gym with Skylar after work. And we walked outside. I cut his hair and then we walked outside and we were standing by his car and I was like, I haven't eaten all day. I should probably eat something before we go to the gym. And we were standing there trying to decide. And I was like, you know what? After standing out in this heat, I really think I need to go home and put myself to bed.
Really?
I was like, I actually don't think I should go to the gym. I think that I should go to bed. And so that was like 2:30. I got off early on Saturday. Came home. I took a bath, ? There were remnants of a bath. I don't remember taking a bath,
Yeah.
but there were remnants of bath taking. So I was like, okay, so I did that. And I fell asleep, and I slept through the night on Saturday, most of the day on Sunday, slept in on Monday, came home, took a nap on Monday.
Yeah.
I think you called me at one of my nap intermissions.
You
yesterday.
sounded like death when I talked to you. I was like, whoa, friend, are you okay?
I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm really...
You're like, I'm dying right now.
Yeah. And so then went back to sleep. And this morning I woke up and I feel fine.
Yeah.
I just have all this pressure.
It hurts in my head a little bit.
Yeah, it just hurts in my head a little bit. What about you? How was your week?
You know, it was really uneventful. I wanted you to go first so that I could think of something, but...
Didn't you go hiking or something? Or did you just post a hike?
That was like 2 weeks ago, I think. I don't remember when that... I went right after Deacon went. This week is a blur for me too, but I think it's because I've been in like hibernate.
Sad mom mode.
Yes, but also preparing to go into like my cousin's coming today. After this, I'm going to go pick her up, and then they're here for the next 4 days, but I'm also simultaneously like preparing for a garage sale and moving all of my 2-bedroom apartment into 1 bedroom.
And you have a lot of stuff. As someone who is a minimalist that does not have a lot of things, you have acquired quite the collection of things.
I have a lot of stuff. I have already taken Deacon's mattress and my vanity and one of my TVs and a shelf over to Kelly's and 4 bags of clothes for the yard sale, like big bags.
Oh, so you're having a yard sale at the new place?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where would I have it? On my 3x3 patio or doorstep?
I mean, you're right at the entrance to the complex. It might do well.
It might do well, actually. You're right.
Do like big stuff you don't want to move, just put it there.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Anyways, so yeah, I've been doing all that, but so it hasn't, I've done a lot of stuff, but also nothing at the same time. So.
Are your cousins staying at your house?
They're staying at my house. I have a blow-up mattress, which I'm going to put in Deacon's room, and I'm going to sleep on that. And then, like, either Georgie or Tyler can have the bed. They can share it. They can have the couch. I'll sleep on the couch. Tyler can have, like, I don't know how it's going to work, but I've got room for that.
But it's going to be fine.
It's going to be fine. Sorry, I'm moving. Wasn't moving when I invited you guys to come out, but now I am. So, but yeah. So that's my week. Like I said, not very exciting. But I did go on a hike after Deacon left, and it was amazing, and it was beautiful. Where'd I go? Denny Cove. And I passed one couple, actually, on the way down.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was there at the waterfalls for, like, probably at least an hour, and there was, like, 2 of them. And I went, one of them was, like, I could walk on. I think I posted it, and I like sat there in the water for a while, and it was awesome. And then I dunked myself under the other small one, and then I went to the big one. And at that point, I was like soaking wet, and thinking about going.
Do you not like bring a change of clothes when you go hiking because you know you're going to get in the water?
Sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't.
You're just like whatever.
Yeah.
Just whatever happens.
Whatever happens. Like.
See, I hate being wet. I love like getting in the water, but I would have to change immediately.
I mean, I don't love it. I'm not gonna lie.
It's not like the most comfortable.
But it's very different than like in Oregon. If you get wet, like you could get hypothermia. So I mean, not in the summer, but
and here you just walk outside and you are wet.
Yeah, you definitely dry faster. Yeah, it just feels like the average day to me. You know, summer day outside, I'm probably already sweat through my clothes anyways. Like, let's be honest, I'm going on 3-4 mile hikes in this heat.
What would you say to someone to prepare them to come from the Pacific Northwest to Tennessee? Like, what did you say to your cousins? Like,
it feels like somebody took a 45-minute shower in a tiny bathroom, and that's what you're walking into. And they like just got out, and that's what you're walking into. Well,
speaking of what you would say,
yes, perfect.
That segues us perfectly into our episode.
I love it. You're so good, Hunty.
I've had a lot of time to sleep. My brain is on it.
His brain
My
is
brain
rested.
is braining.
All right. I can tell. All right. So we're going to do a What Would You Say edition.
Salon edition, yeah.
Salon edition. And, yeah, take it away, Hunty.
What do you say when a client bashes their old stylist? We'll start right there.
9.5 times out of 10, I'm going to come to that stylist's defense.
Absolutely, yeah.
If it's bad, I'm probably going to look at him and say, you're right, it's not the best, but we're going to fix it for you, honey.
So whenever I see something that's like bad,
yeah.
I will say, you know what? We all have bad days. But what we're going to do is we're not going to think about the past, and we're only going to look towards the future.
That's so much better.
So, what can we do?
And that's why you are you.
I will, because exactly that. You're like, sometimes you really want to say, like, what's going on?
Yeah, exactly.
What's going on?
There are times where that happens. Most of the time, though, I do genuinely feel like it's not necessarily done bad. It's just not
poor
what
communication.
The client wanted. Yeah, like there are situations where it's bad, but most of the time I don't see that. Most of the time it's just not exactly what the client wanted.
Right.
So they're freaking out and it's like whatever. But it does happen where you're just like, what was this person thinking? But I feel like as a stylist, you have to have that integrity of like,
just don't talk about other people's work.
Don't talk about it. Yeah, like,
because what if that stylist goes back to their stylist without telling them that they got it fixed?
What if you do their hair and they don't like it a little bit, and then they go back to their other stylist,
and then they're gonna talk?
What I mean?
Yep,
It's
and then
just
your reputation,
unprofessional, and it like adds to the stereotype of us being catty.
It does, and I also feel like a lot of times whenever people have messed up hair, or a lot of times when people have hair that they're less than happy with, they are like pretty nervous to get their hair done again, especially if it's like soon after, and they're like, I just spent all this money, and now I'm spending more money because I don't want to go back there. They have a lot of anxiety. And so if you are like feeding into that, like, oh yeah, that stylist was terrible and this and that, then they're automatically intimidated by what you have to say. And they're not going to tell you if they are unhappy with what you did either. And they're going to go to someone else, and then they're going to bash you. It's a big cycle of bullying.
Yeah, we don't need that.
And we don't need that.
We are not here for that business. No.
All right, you're next.
Okay, let's see. Okay, here we go. I'm going to ask you this one because I know you hate this. What would you say when someone undermines or belittles our industry?
I always have to take like a little deep breath before I speak on it because it pisses me off. Because that's what we're told when we want to go to beauty school.
Yeah.
All the time is like, you're not going to make money.
Yeah.
You're never going to be successful. If you want to own a house, you're going to have to find a rich man. Or, oh, you just do hair. Or like, oh, my daughter wants to do hair, but I would rather her be a doctor or a lawyer or this or that.
Yeah.
And so what I say typically is that hairdressing is definitely a career that it is what you get out of it, what you put into it. If you want to have the success of an attorney or the success of a doctor, by all means, you could do that in this industry. There are plenty of brands that pay people hundreds of thousands, if not even in the millions of dollars, to do hair. Keep that in mind. Just to do hair. So, no, we can't just go to school, get a job, and immediately make $100,000. But we absolutely can.
Yeah,
and
potential.
The stylists that do work their asses off 4 or 5 days a week, they're having multiple streams of income. They're investing. They are creating a future outside of the salon that is so much more than just playing with hair. It is a business, and the beauty industry is $1 billion industry. Yeah. There are absolutely no limits to what you can do as a hairdresser.
Period.
And that's what I say.
Period.
Because it pisses me off. Talk shit.
Talk shit.
I'm going to meet you with that same energy. Did you ask me that one?
Yes, it's your turn.
I have one because I think that this has happened to you and it's never happened to me. So I need to know.
Oh, God.
What do you say when your client tells you that they're having an affair?
Oh, okay. So it didn't happen to me, but it happened to somebody working next to me. And I was like, first of all, I was blown away that this story was even being talked about as openly as it was. So I can't say I've done it before, but...
How did that stylist react? Because I just don't know how I would react.
I think she was just trying to get through it, if I remember correctly. And the hard part for me was that my client's husband had just had an affair on her.
Right. I remember this.
Oh my God, why is she talking? Like, I wanted to say something, but it was absolutely
inappropriate to say something.
Yes. And I was just like, want to be like, whoa, girl, if I were you, I wouldn't be talking about this out loud. Like,
do you want to go to the back and talk about this?
I know. I'd be like, dang, girl. I don't know. I just was kind of shocked. I think if it were me and if I were in that situation, what would I say? I think I would probably just subtly try to change the subject.
Also, same.
Yeah.
Or I would be like, oh, okay. You're doing that.
Yeah.
You're doing that.
Okay. I just don't even know. Like, I can't even think I can really come up with a good
what kind
answer.
of shampoo and conditioner are you using at home?
I would say, have you been showering at his house and using his shampoo, girl? Because your ends are dry. You need this mask right here. Have you been using his 3-in-1 body wash to wash your hair, girl? Because this ain't the business.
Right. We're going to have to order some new extensions.
Exactly.
And give me his credit card. Thank you.
Yes.
Because your husband should not be paying for this.
That is what you say if your client tells you they're having an affair on their husband.
And give me his credit card. Thank you. Thank you.
Not the husband. Poor man. Oh, God. Okay. My turn. What are you going to say, Hunter, if your client is doing a major color correction and then they tell you that they're using, I'm not going to name a specific brand, but something from the drugstore?
Oh, okay. And they don't want to buy new product?
Yeah. We'll say
okay.
If they've already said this is all the money they can spend today and they don't have money for product.
In the consultation, I would include the price of the product.
Yeah.
However, if it did happen to me.
But that's now.
Right.
What about
beforehand?
Yeah.
The reason I do that is because it did happen a bunch of times. Now, if beforehand they were like, this is all the money I can spend today, I would not suggest a product to them, but I would say I would suggest to do less in the service so that you can afford to take care of the color, because it is pointless to pay this much for a color service and then go use a shampoo and conditioner that I have no knowledge as to whether it's going to strip your hair color. I have no knowledge if it's depositing any minerals into your hair, which it probably is because our water deposits minerals into the hair. I have no idea if there's any metallics in that. Like, what if I go to put lightener on your hair the next time and there's a chemical reaction and your hair burns off? Like, all of these things are something that could happen to your hair if you're using this drugstore product when we're doing a 3, 4, 5, $600, $700, $800, $900
yeah.
service.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just dumb to me. Like, and I am very point blank and honest. Like, I would say that is dumb.
Yeah.
I would suggest let's do something less in the service.
Yeah.
Because if this is your budget, we need to fit professional hair care that I have the knowledge of instructing you on how to use.
Yeah. I like that. That's probably similar to what I would say.
Right.
You always make it sound way more profesh, but something to the extent of like you're literally washing your money down the drain.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Come on, sister. You're washing your investment down the drain when you're using cruddy shampoo, you know?
Absolutely. And if like selling retail is a problem with you, like for you, and you're having problems like selling the retail, stop selling it and then just tell them what's going to happen when they don't use it.
Educate.
It's a fear of like their hair falling off. And it is, will it happen every time you use a drugstore shampoo? No. Is it going to happen the first time you use a drugstore shampoo? No. But could you use that drugstore shampoo and then come in and then I put a chemical on your hair that could react with that drugstore shampoo that I have no knowledge of?
Yeah.
And then cause damage to your hair?
Well, let me just say this.
Yes.
Because once upon a time,
not long ago,
when I lived in Seattle, or I think I was still living in Oregon, but my boyfriend lived up in Seattle at the time, and I went up to visit him, and I happened to have these like long dark red extensions. Like, they weren't dark, but probably like a level 6, and then I had purple like peekaboos, right? And I had B3 was just launching, and I think I was like, had the ampules, I put the color in there. The extensions and my hair were the complete different colors, so I had to make it all one color, right? When I tell you that this color did not budge from my hair because I was using the B3, and then I had the shampoo and conditioner, and then I went up to his house, and I used his, like, Dove one time. And it looked like a murder scene in the shower. It was like red and purple, which like made it more red, looking more blood color.
Yeah, it probably looked like rusty blood.
Exactly. I was like, dang, dude, my hair was never the same after that. One time. And this is my personal experience. For real, it happened. I swear to God. It's not good for your hair. You know what I mean? That was, for me, just like, I'll never... Unless I'm intentionally trying to fade my hair color, I will not put that stuff on my head.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
So.
And I just feel like there are people come into the salon knowing that they're going to spend money.
Mm-hmm.
They know how much they're willing to spend.
Yeah.
And if you can get that budget fit into any lifestyle. Like, you can create a look inside that budget with them having take home by adjusting what you're doing, because it's not about like selling the retail. It's so that your work comes back the same way that it left. So it's setting you up for success so that the next time they come in, their roadmap for where they want to be is closer because they're taking care of their hair the way that you're instructing them to.
I love it.
All right, is it my turn?
Yeah, I think so.
Here's one that happens often, and I feel like students might have a problem with this one or struggles with it. What do you say when a client shows you their inspo pic for an updo and it has extensions?
I tell them there is more hair in this updo than is on your head, so we're gonna have to remedy that somehow. Whether it's hair pieces, hair extensions, or a different style. You know? Maybe even.
Because sometimes, like, you may have it booked on that day, and they're showing you the picture, and then you have to do it right then. Not always will you have the consultation where you have time to get the materials.
I was just thinking about that because I had one of my brides, we just got extensions for her.
And you did multiple trials with her.
Yeah,
and
I did one without it. We decided we needed them, and then we ordered them, did another one, and then, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
That's kind of what I was thinking. But, yeah, if it's, like, day of, like a...
Then we're going to have to reroute.
A prom girl scenario, something like that. Yeah, there's going to have to be a reroute and some compromise. Like, you just got to be honest, I think, and just tell them, like, I mean... What do they say? You can't get blood from a turnip or whatever that saying is.
There you go.
I mean? Like, it's not going to happen. So we got to talk about something that could look good for you and what we're working with here. And let me see your dress. And then we're going to have to adjust accordingly. But
we're going to have to reimagine this.
Yeah. But if you try to give them what they're wanting with what they have, which can't happen, they're going to be unhappy. They're going to be
It's going to look dainty.
happier. Yeah, exactly. If you are just upfront with them about it, I think. So, yeah. A guest asks for something that you know will not look good on them. What do you say?
So I feel like that is where I would go into let's look at this photo and the points that it's accentuating in this person's face. Okay. And then I'll do the trick with your hands. So they teach you this in beauty school.
Please hold.
So they taught us this in beauty school, at least, where you put your fists on someone's face in different focal points, and it shows you an exaggerated point of view of like, okay, if I have my hands here and the volume is here on the hairstyle, how do you feel about your face shape?
Okay.
If I have my hands here, that means that the style is coming out volume-wise here on the sides.
Okay.
How do you feel about this on your face shape? How do you feel about how you look? If their focal point is here, saying like face framing layer starting at the cheekbones, how do you feel about that? Or is it a bob that's going to land right here? If I put my fists here and you're accentuating this part of your face, look at me on the camera, that makes me look like a damn bull.
Yeah.
So I'm immediately going to be like, oh, okay, that's definitely not what I want. Does that mean that you can't have a bob? No. It just means that a French bob is not the one for you.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to do like
in the middle or height here.
Yeah.
Angle.
A shag bob. Or even like a graduated bob so that the accentuation is more here.
Yeah. It's so funny like hearing you say that because I didn't think about it in terms of like graduated bob. I just like think about where the like shape changes, you know?
Well, I think of it as shapes. Like I think square, triangle, and diamond and a circle. Not a diamond. Square, triangle, circle. I think of those, but then I see in my head. Have you ever seen like, I know you've seen it in casinos, the little like bar things that go like rolly, rolly, rolly. So in my brain, I physically see those three shapes, and then I see hairstyles spinning through those shapes of like what hairstyles are those shapes.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Because I connect everything to a picture.
To me, it's like a sculpture. I don't know how else to describe it other than that, but like I think it's because I did hair self-taught for so long before I ever went to beauty school that like I had no idea about any of this stuff. I just knew where weight needed to be and where it needed to be taken out of. Like, that's the only way I can describe it.
I went into it not knowing any of that.
Yeah.
Because I went into, like, I'm a boy. I didn't style my hair. I had no concept of what looks good on a female. I had to go by, like, the rules. Well, and then I found out that the rules can be, like, manipulated, and then it creates the perfect photo.
Well, and I think that's the thing is I had a hard time learning
The rules.
The rules.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
I have a real hard time with like
I have
freeform.
a hard time with following rules. Obviously. No, but that's the part that I think I missed in an associateship or an apprenticeship, and not like seeking out a mentor early in my career, because I didn't. In beauty school, everything was just like I did class, hair. I think I started with nails, skin, and then I did hair, and then I was on the floor. And I, in beauty school, was a lot more proficient than a lot of the girls I was going to school with. You know what I mean? That doesn't to say that they're not way better hairstylists than me now. But at the time, you know what I mean? So I just was doing clients all the time. Like, I didn't really look at my book ever again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's kind of how beauty school was to me. I was working a full-time job, and, like, I was just trying to get in there and get out.
And see, my cosmetology notebook, I had drawings. I had written everything. I actually, Sydney, if you're listening to this, I still have a grudge for you. Just kidding. I love you. I let one of my roommates borrow my book for her test because I made a really good score on my test because I took really good notes. And I was like, you could borrow this. I really think it'll help. Well, she asked for it, and I was like, hard to part with.
Yeah.
And I was like, you can borrow it. I do really think that it'll help you, but I really would like it back. Like, I put a lot into this. The next day, she got into a car accident, totaled her car.
You told me that.
Have I told you this?
You told me that, yeah.
Whoa, I really is a grudge then, because I didn't know I had told you this story.
Because we were talking about your
cosmetology books.
Notebook.
Yep.
Yeah.
And she totaled her car, and then we went to clean it out, and even I didn't think. I was like, let's get the most important things, and let's go. Let's go home.
Yeah.
You are frantic.
That's awful.
So my cosmetology book with all those notes in it that I've never needed.
Right.
I needed them to pass the test.
Notes ever since.
And I'll never throw a book away.
I love it. So funny.
Is it my turn?
I'm not sure whose turn it is.
I'll use this one. What do you say if a guest doesn't like what you have done to them?
It's just hair, girl. We can fix it.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the issue?
Yeah.
Where do you see a problem? Let's fix it.
Use your words. Tell me what you're thinking. I feel like after you've done it for a really long time, and like you have the like repeat practice of people loving their hair and not loving their hair, you can immediately tell when you start to blow dry if they like it or not.
Yeah.
And so if I see that shift, I'm always like, okay, girl, I'll turn my blow dryer off, put it down. Okay, girl, use your words.
Yeah.
I feel it. I feel a disconnect here. Let's talk about it before I get this fully dry and styled. What can we do? What were you expecting that was not met?
Well, I have started blow drying like the front of the head first. And I feel like I did it for a while and then I kind of stopped. I don't really know. But have started doing it again, and I just love it because then you're not all the way through the thickest part of the hair before the client realizes that they're not in love with something, which it doesn't happen often. But
right.
You know what I mean? If they're like, you can see it on their face, and it is true. It comes with experience and, you know, a gaining of confidence, I think, too. And, like, I'm always very upfront with my clients where I'm like, I really need communication from you. And, like, you're not going to hurt my feelings.
Right.
Because anything you're not happy with can be fixed. You know what I mean? And so
our boss has this saying, like, for an associate or a younger stylist on the floor. She's like, girl, you're freaking out. I need you to stop. How long does it take to fix hair color?
Yeah.
10 minutes. That's right.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally. And, I mean, that's the thing is, like, it can be fixed. And I do remember the days of, like, not having as much knowledge and, like, being scared or offended or hating myself because the hair didn't turn out. And, like, It really isn't that big of a deal. And if you don't have the knowledge to fix it, that's where your team comes into play.
And if you don't have a team, there are Facebook groups. There are reach out to a friend from beauty school. Hey, can I FaceTime you real fast?
Yeah.
I've had times where, like, my best friend Sam, she was an educator with me for a while, and I'll call her before work sometimes and be like, okay, I have this color coming in. This is what's happened.
Yeah.
This is what I'm doing. What's your input? And she always gives me, it's either like the same advice or maybe try this.
Yeah.
And having someone to bounce those, that's why I love having a team.
Yeah,
that's why I could never go back to working like alone in a suite because I have to have those bounce back ideas, even if it's just a like, yeah, that's a good idea. I didn't think that, otherwise I wouldn't have asked you.
Well, the cool thing about hair is like there's 15 ways to get from A to B. You know what I mean? And like we're creatives, so that's part of it. But like, just you might do one thing, I might do another. The result might look relatively indistinguishable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Chances are there's going to be at least 4 colors in my glaze formula because that's how my brain works, you know? Probably doing a lot of canceling each other out, but works for me. Like
ultimately, it is a 9N.
Basically, you know. No, I don't know. I mean, sometimes I get bored and I just want to play and try something new. And I
do that a lot.
You know, like I'm like, oh, this, and then I'm like, oh, I got too much of that. Better add a little bit of gold. Cancel that out. Whoops. Sometimes it's like 2 or 3 grams, you know? I'm
dead.
And then I'll make the exact same formula the next time using it, doing something different. I don't know. It's just kind of how it goes. Anyways.
Okay. I think that's enough for this week's episode. If you want to follow us on our social media journeys, I am at Herrick Center on all the things.
And I am Ericka the Redhead on all the things.
Our podcast is at Break Room Banter Pod on all the things. If you want to find additional ways to support us, you can follow us on Patreon, www.patreon.com/Break Room Banter Pod. Make sure you're following on YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, anywhere else you get your podcasts. And until next time, remember,
you always have a seat at our table.
Bye.